Well, by golly, it's my book. It's my first book. And once I'm able to drive myself to get to events I'll be launching. And someday when I grow up, I want to work with you and the group of people you work with, Paul Nelson. Please hold me in mind. This one is called Furling, in honor of a special oyster farm in Camilchi, Washington. Sometimes at night I lie awake and wonder about the sea and its carving power to overturn rocks and tumble their roughness smooth, furling and unfurling speckled granite, gray and ochre, balancing weight and weightlessness in rhythmic strokes against the shores. I wonder about the moontime these cold waters keep, while the burning shadows of sunstroke sand, of a sunstroke land, still twinge the memory hot on my soles. Arousing waves, mountainous waves, presage transfer to the faraway, like Réunion or Phuket, where the curries burn like the sand. And in cold breezes on this northwestern shore, my lips taste of blackberries. Thank you. I have a little, here's a short one. Really. What I'd really like to know is, what turns you in? Homecoming for the children. I will live this day well, just, and kind, so when my night's sleep has ended and I, with another chance to awaken pre-dawn, will return to trim the maiden's blush lilacs, offer a series of waves at the minivan caravan sortie. As neighborhood moms and dads drive their wee daughters and sons to grammar schools, their adult children head off to senior high, and they drive themselves to tall buildings, shops, or back to the home desk for the day. Looking up from cutting back, brown euphorbia, hands protected from its toxic white sap, midday, I will wave as the broods redescend. Tail lights flicker off in the drives as tiny backpacks drop, swapped out for basketballs. I will live this day as though all will come home. At their day's end, giddy bare feet run to glide again and again the length of a slip and slide. On a side yard, the good dog peers through a fence. Blue popsicle sticks will drip in sticky hands. Young laughter will echo over the street and anoint the hybrid tea roses in their buds, then move through the mighty ancient walnut to the young crab apples slowly growing, and gift my gardening face with its grin. Can you hear the black-capped chickadee-dee-dees? They are just fledging from the nest in the old birdhouse shaped like a church, where the Anna's hummingbirds sip from dwarf-crested irises. As wind chimes jingle, gentle breezes mingle with the chorus of bells on bikes freshly freed from training wheels. Sweet sounds waft amid bent branches of the contorted filbert as Cantonese soliloquies syncopate their rich tones. All that ever is was created in darkness. All that grows moves toward light. Let us draw from the numinous the capacity to trust that the chickadees will return next spring to continue the cycle again. And I wrote this, it was written after the massacre at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, May 24th, 2022, for my children, not my children, but my neighborhood children, that they might return home like the chickadees. And I'll close with this. I wrote this during the pandemic. It started out as a "what have I done during lockdown?" In the garden, my bones told me it was time the day I let my father go, as I walked the urn and his ashes to the garden and set us both free from what had feigned to contain us. That day, I set the Buddha free to be a sculpture again, instead of an altar guardian over loss. My father, who rode the open roads, now rides the petals of Mexican-born dahlias into a perennial future. He's a part of the unfolding fiddle ferns below the old pear tree. He courses the veins of grapevines at the back fence. The Nico blue hydrangea listens to its aquarian namesake as the broccoli's yellow flowerhead florets burst open with stories. Like the time in the Redwood Forest diner over berry pie a la mode. Coffee on his breath, milk in my glass, summer's incense off the bark. The bearded iris reminisce about the Coos Bay Cafe the time Van Morrison dropped by, sang Brown-Eyed Girl from the small wooden stage. From under Van's classic fedora, behind the dark sunglasses, his comfort against a sea of stage fright. He crooned, hiding beneath a rainbow's wall. Liberated, I see each of us is everywhere, wet with rain, afraid of nothing. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. La-la-la-la.